Morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Nunheimer. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Barnstable Licensing Authority. With me to my left is Larry Decker. To my right, Nancy Carlson-Lidman and John Flores, members of the committee. With us also today is David Anthony, who is, give me the title again, Dave.
Director of Asset Management.
Asset Management. And our Secretary, Erin Logan. Or I shouldn't say secretary, our administrative director of assistant deputy director of asset management. We'll go through the roll call. If anybody has anything, please come up to the podium, speak into the microphone, and we'll answer any questions, and we'll have some questions of you. Today is March 20th. Happy spring. The first matter is an application by Marty Brumell of the Greater Hyannis Chamber of Commerce for a special one-day license with respect to JFK Hyannis Museum and Hyannis Chamber member networking event that was held on March 9th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Service was wine only and poured by the Cape Cod Package Store. This was a one-day license that was granted after consultation with the police and fire departments. Do we need to take a vote on that, Erin?
I would, just for formality's sake, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, with regard to the retro approval for an application submitted by Marty Brumell of the Greater Hyannis Chamber of Commerce for special one-day alcohol license with respects to the JFK Hyannis Museum and Hyannis Chamber member networking event, which was held on March 9th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the JFK Museum, 397 Main Street, Hyannis. Wine was served, only wine was served by the Cape Cod Package Store. I make a motion to accept.
And I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. Next matter is an application by Joseph Berlandi, the Barnstable Historical Society, for a special one-day alcohol and entertainment license with respect to Old Times Chowder and Tales event that was held on March 10, 2023, from 6 to 8 p.m. at 3055 Main Street, Barnstable. Again, this was a retroactive application that was granted subsequent to conversations with the police and fire department. I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chairman, another retro approval with an application submitted by Joseph Berlandi of the Barnstable Historical Society for a special one-day alcohol and entertainment license with respect to the Old Timers Chowder and Tales event held on March 10th, 2023, from 6 to 8 p.m. at 3055 Main Street, Barnstable. And the service of alcohol was provided by Dennis Meyer, who is tip certified. It's on file. I make a motion to accept.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope. That passes. Thank you. Next matter is an application submitted by Sean Randall of Sturgis Parent Association for a special one-day beer and wine license with respect to a 2023 SPA charity auction scheduled for April 1, 2023, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Sturgis Charter Public School, 529 Main Street, Hyannis. Beer and wine will be served. Is Mr. Randall here?
I'm here on his behalf, Dan Kelly with the Sturgis Parents Association.
Come on up to the podium, please, Mr. Kelly.
If you don't mind, the timing is incorrect. It's 5 to 10 p.m.
Yeah, you got to push the button in the middle for the mic to go on.
Oh, it's not 2 to 5. It's 5 to 10 p.m., sir,
Okay,
at our facility on 529 Main.
right. And you have the police detail set up, right?
Correct.
Tell us what the event's going to be like.
So it's the same event we did last year at the same site. It's a charity auction for the Parents Association. All proceeds going to Sturgis East and West. It'll be a live auction, a silent auction, and We will have it catered, and we will have beer and wine and soft drinks.
Does anyone have any questions?
You have it so that there's, a police, you don't require a police detail?
We do not require one, but we chose to book one, and we're paying for it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And how many people do you think will attend?
180.
Thank you.
Oh, pretty good. Does anybody from the public have any comment with respect to this application? Seeing none, I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chairman, with regard to the application submitted by Sean Randall of the Sturgis Parents Association for a special one-day beer and wine license with respect to the 2023 SPA charity auction event scheduled for April 1st from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Sturgis Charter Public School located at 529 Main Street, Hyannis, with beer and wine, which will be poured by Michael Jeffrey and Robert Gillis, whose current tips certified are on file. I make a motion to accept.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Motion, the application is granted. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next matter is from the Comaquid Golf Club of Yarmouth and Barnstable, DBA Comaquid Golf Club, 35 Marston's Lane, Barnstable, to change manager from Neil Renault to John Default. And Mr. Default is here and already regretting having gotten here. Give us your background, Mr. Default.
Okay. I've been a hospitality professional for the past 30 years. Most recently, I was the general manager of Eastwood Hill Country Club in Chatham. Prior to that, I was the assistant general manager at the Country Club of Darien in Fairfield, Connecticut, or Fairfield County. Prior to that, I was the general manager of Vermont National Country Club in Burlington, Vermont. I'm originally from Worcester, Massachusetts. I'm certified in tips and serve safe, and actually certified to teach and train all of those things. I've been the licensee or the permittee for the properties for whom I've worked for the past 20 years or so. That's it.
And you're ready to take on the Comaquid Golf Club crowd.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but I'm there.
Surrender is not an option. All right, does anybody have any questions? Anyone from the public have any questions? Seeing none, I'll take a motion, Mr. Decker.
Mr. Chairman, with regard to the application submitted by the Comaquid Golf Club of Yarmouth and Barnstable, DBA Comaquid Golf Club, 35 Marston's Lane, Barnstable, Comaquid, to change the manager from Neil J. Renaud to John B. Default, I make a motion to accept.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Application is granted.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
The next matter is, next two matters we'll take at the same time were submitted by the Riano Club, DBA Riano Club, 107 C Street, Osterville, and 379 Parker Road, Osterville, to change the manager from Jennifer LePage to Mark Krebs. Morning, Mr. Krebs.
Good morning. And it's actually Seaview Avenue,
Is that what I say? See? All
C
right.
Street or something.
Oh, sorry. Tell us about your background.
I've been the general manager at the Wiano Club for about 2 years, since February 1st, 2021. Prior to that, I was the director of club operations at the Country Club in Brookline. And prior to that, I was at various clubs in the San Francisco area, Charlotte, North Carolina. Went to school for hospitality and still here.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions of Mr. Krebs? Seeing none?
Mr.
Yep.
Chairman, with regard to the applications submitted by the Wiano Club, DBA Wiano Club, at 107 Seaview Avenue, Osterville, and 379 Parker Road, Osterville, to change the manager from Jennifer LePage to Mark Krebs, I make a motion to accept.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck.
The next matter is to transfer an all-alcohol common victual license, daily live and daily non-live entertainment licenses from Dublin DBA British Beer Company, 412 Main Street, to transfer from Hyannis Properties LLC DBA British Beer Company to Dublin DBA British Beer Company, 412 Main Street, Hyannis. Hours of operation to remain Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 a.m., and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. The proposed manager is Chrissy Kuko, and it is a 4,400 square foot on-ground floor, main entrance on Main Street, rear exit to North Street parking lot, 2 handicap restrooms, full-service kitchen, bar seating for 15, dining room seating for 158, separate vestibule and waiting area for 12, employees 12, total indoor capacity 217. There's outdoor seating on the sidewalk with 5 tables and 20 seats, full cellar for storage and employee restroom, sidewalk dining valid only with license from town manager. And you are?
Good morning. May it please the authority. My name is Patrick Nickerson on behalf of Dublin LLC. Also present today in the audience is Desmond Keogh, his wife Terry Bolt. They're going to be the new owners of the establishment. Their experience includes property management as well as management in personnel, including residential development, commercial development, and presently Mr. Keogh, under the entity Keogh Properties, manages the Moose Lodge in Yarmouth, which includes a kitchen and full bar. Mr. Keogh also has law enforcement experience of between 9 to 10 years in Wellfleet and Eastham. Began his law enforcement career, you could say, as a volunteer in the Barnstable Police Department. Unfortunately, Mr. Simon, the founder of British Beer Company, the remaining founder is not present today. He's in traffic across the Sagamore Bridge, as it may. Mr. Simon's going to be staying on as in an advisory capacity for the next year. So he's going to remain involved with the business. As you may know, the BBC at one point had either 13 or 14 locations throughout New England. The numbers aren't quite consistent in the research I performed, but we're now, I think, left to 2. And that would be Plymouth and then the one on Hyannis. So, the new owners, Dublin LLC, are seeking to really continue on the legacy of the BBC, specifically Harry Nong, who held during his lifetime that the apex of life in a village would occur at a pub such as this, where you could come into a safe environment, notice family or friends, have a meal, and really be part of the community and part of an entity that promotes community values. So we're asking for a like-for-like transfer of these licenses. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, as is Mr. Keogh and his wife, Terry.
I can't let this go. It's the Dublin LLC.
It is.
With the British Beer Company, right?
That's right.
I agree. I was going to say that.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Now,
What flag are we going to fly?
Well, I don't believe we're making any substantial changes of that nature.
I noticed that you mentioned in talking Dublin LLC.
Yes.
Okay, because we just have it here as Dublin DBA, British Beer Company. So it's an LLC as the British Beer Company, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And the proposed manager, is she here?
She's not here, no.
Okay.
She's been employed by this establishment for about, I think, 13 years in different capacities, has been a server. She's our proposed manager for the new license.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
just a question.
Yes, sir.
The British Beer Company as the name of the controlling company, if you will. I know they recently closed one in Sandwich.
Yes, sir.
How does that impact, I'm just curious what impact British Beer Company has on a local franchise?
For the location Sandwich, that one was actually sold to its manager, who has worked there for 18 years, and that's been now called the Local. There's some remodeling. Essentially, most of the menu remained the same. There's new paint on the inside and outside. I was actually there last night, after speaking with Mr. Keogh, I couldn't resist trying to experience some of this pub atmosphere that I've read and researched about. However, here there's going to be an exclusive use of name for the British Beer Company. That's not changing. There's a condition in the purchase and sale agreement which would prohibit Mr. Keogh or his wife Terry Bolt from using the name to open any other establishments. So we're looking to keep it as is, as close as possible, to maintain the present aesthetic, you know.
And this is strictly the license. It has nothing to do with the real estate.
Correct, yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Anthony?
Good morning.
Morning.
Are there any changes planned for the use of the public sidewalk as far as dimensions or the number of tables?
No, not at this point, no.
Okay, well, just with the change of the nature of the business, we'll just have to make sure that the paperwork reflects the new owner then.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Any members of the public have any comment? Mr. Decker?
Mr. Chairman, with regard to the application from Dublin LLC, DBA British Beer Company, 412 Main Street, Hyannis, to transfer the annual all-alcohol common victor license and daily live entertainment and daily non-live entertainment from Hyannis Property LLC, DBA British Beer Company, to Dublin LLC, DBA British Beer Company, 412 Main Street, Hyannis. The hours of operation to remain Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 a.m., Sunday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. The proposed manager is Chrissy Kuko, and we're noting that the premises description as appeared in their application. I make a motion to accept.
And I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Congratulations.
Good
Thank
luck.
you very much.
Good luck.
The next application is for a new annual common victual license and daily non-live entertainment license filed by Amanda Nazareth, DBA Cheese Bread Bakery Cafe at 70 Center Street, number 2, Hyannis. With indoor seating for 30, a license for 1 TV, and hours of operation are proposed to be 6 a.m. to 1 a.m., which Mr. Decker points out to me is a very long day. But is anybody here from Cheese Bread? Come on up to the microphone if you would, please. What's your name?
My name is Armando Nazareth.
Armando, tell us about place. What are we cooking?
I was cooking a sandwich, sandwich to be ice cream shop. Also,
You have to put the microphone on there, yeah. Sorry. Thank you.
yes. Also, I'm going to serve as Brazilian lunch.
Okay. And are you going to be open from 6 a.m. in the morning to 1 a.m. at night?
I plan to, but should be some change down the road. Yeah, by the summer, yes. That's only summer time.
Okay.
So you're a cafe,
Yeah, cafe. Yeah.
And you
Cafe
wanna
and
be
ice
open-
cream shop and sandwich.
and you want to be open till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's my plan for the first time, and then I'm there, but probably down the road, maybe
Okay.
change it for the, should just be a long hours.
Does anybody have, I'm sorry.
Mr. Nazareth, what's your background?
I used to live on island for 17 years on Nantucket, and then I have a retail shop there for almost 15 years. And they also, I used to have a commercial kitchen there, but it's only deliveries.
Ah,
Yeah, that's right. I moved with family to the Cape 5 years ago, and tried to do open this place, and my kids all gonna help too.
well, they're lost in our game.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Anyone from the public have any questions? Seeing none?
Mr. Chairman, with regard to the application by Armando Nazareth, DBA Cheese Bread Bakery Cafe, 20 Center Street, number 2, Hyannis, for an annual common victor license with indoor seating for 30, and a new daily non-live entertainment license for one TV, with the daily hours of operation from 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. daily. I make a motion to accept.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Application's granted. Good luck.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just to clarify for the record, 70 Center Street.
What did I say?
No, 20.
I said 20?
No, Mr. Decker said,
Oh, I'm
oh,
sorry.
sorry. I just want to
70.
clarify for the record,
Yeah,
that's all.
That's okay. No.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The next matter is a new annual common victual license and new daily non-live entertainment license filed by Gone Acai Hyannis, Inc., DBA Gone Acai, 561 Main Street. Indoor seating for 34, outdoor seating for 32, and a newly non-live entertainment license for 3 TVs, hours of operation 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Is anyone here from Gone Acai? And she is. Just make sure that microphone's on. A little green light there.
Good morning.
Morning, what's your name?
My name is Camila. I'm one of the owners of the Goni Acai. Goni Acai.
How do you say it?
Goni Acai.
Acai.
Well, a lot of people say Goni Acai.
And tell us what you're doing.
The Goni, I was managed 4 years, around 4 years on a Goni Chocolate in Barnstable Main Street. And the owner asked me to have business partner. And right now you open the Goni Acai Hyannis. You have acai bowls, homemade truffles, cappuccinos, and ice cream, milkshakes. You're planning. I have a question about the hours because you have in a file about 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. But I'm wondering if you can change about 11 to 9, if it's
From
possible.
11 a.m. to 9
Yeah.
p.m.?
Or maybe 11 to 10 in the summertime.
And that'll be 7 days a week?
Yes, every day. We open every day.
Does anybody have any questions?
So it's 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
is what you're requesting?
Yeah, you plan in the summertime, open maybe 11 to 10 p.m.
Well, we got to get it right.
Yeah, we got to, what do we
Let's-
need to do?
We just wonder if it's possible to change.
It's possible to change. You can change it now or you can change it later. It's just,
Yeah,
So-
if you can change now, it's
All
great.
right.
It's going to be great.
so we're going to do 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.?
Yeah.
Do you want separate summer hours and we keep it as advertised? Or are you going to
Oh, yeah, we
blanket
got the
that?
advertising thing.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the difficulties we have is we have to give people notice of the application and the particulars of the application. So changing it sort of in that situation is a little bit different. So why don't we suggest that we do it right now from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.,
Oh, okay.
and then you can file an application to just expand those hours for the summer tomorrow if you want,
Oh,
today
okay.
if you want.
Okay, that's great.
And we'll do that way. And you can delineate the hours for just a certain period of calendar time, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Or
So it's 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. We're
8
gonna Keep
p.m.
it as advertised.
Okay.
Anyone from the public have any comment on this application? None? Mr. Decker?
Mr. Chairman, with regard to the application filed by Glen Aki,
Yeah.
Hyannis Inc., DBA Glen Aki, 561 Main Street, Hyannis, for a new annual common victor license with indoor seating for 34 and outdoor seating for 32, with a daily non-live entertainment license for 3 TVs, with the hours of operation daily from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And also, this is subject to the approval of you attaining an outdoor dining agreement with the town manager. I make a motion to accept.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a great day.
The next matter is to amend a daily live entertainment license for the House of Hatchets, 489 Burses Way, Hyannis, to include live amplified music and up to 5 performers. Here he is. Come on up.
Morning.
Is it green?
There you go.
Okay.
Good morning.
Go ahead. Your name is again?
Clifford Harris.
That's right, Mr. Harris. So we're going to put 5 performers in the new space?
Yeah, we're going to do a little stage. I'd like to do like some open mic kind of stuff, more acoustic stuff.
Throwing hatches and comedy, yeah.
Well, what we're going to try to
With
do.
cocktails.
The plan is to keep axe throwing in my current space, and then at 8 o'clock, the other space would go for entertainment for a few hours.
Okay.
I
Well-
fancied myself a budding guitarist, so I've always wanted to
Jam.
get up in front of people. So maybe to end the night, you might be graced with my presence.
Good for you.
So it seems like every so often we see you. You started out with a license for the House of Hatchets. Then you came to us again to serve beer,
Beer and wine, yes, sir.
and now you're back for performers. What's next?
You know, we're just trying to, it's exciting. I mean, I was a police officer for 25 years. This is the next chapter. So just trying to enjoy being a small business owner.
I've heard numerous comments. You know, it's an unusual House of Hatchets in Cape Cod, although it is, nationwide, it's expanding pretty rapidly. But how are you advertising for entertainment now, or how are you going about this?
You know, it's kind of ironic. My major in college was marketing, and that's the one part of my business that I'm terrible at. So I'm not really advertising a lot. I hate social media in some ways. So, it's kind of word of mouth stuff. I'm looking to grow at my pace and not really become overwhelmed. We have leagues that, the House of Hatchets, we've done very good. I mean, opening up in a pandemic and possibly expanding in a recession. So, we're doing okay. And this is just another form of entertainment that I think people on the Cape are looking for, especially in the off season.
So you have up to 5 performers, and you're serving beer. Is there food involved?
No, so even on my website, you can bring food in. I've battled with this a couple of different ways. I've had people come in, and if they're eating a piece of pizza and then you go grab a hatchet, probably not the best thing to do. So I try to, I don't discourage people to bring food in, but I don't encourage it. And one of our rules when we coach people up is if you're going to have some food, wash your hands before you're touching any of our equipment. So that's kind of the way it goes.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
When we initially gave the beer license, I questioned whether it was a great idea to have hatchet throwing and drinking. I've never been to the location personally inside. Are they completely separate within the location?
So
How
this
does
is
that
what,
work?
even with the ABCC, so when you come in, we go through a coaching, and the first rule is obviously regarding your safety. So we have a yellow line, and we'll have a yellow line in our new area. So there's alcohol, there's no hatchets behind the yellow line, no alcohol in front of the yellow line, and at no time can a beverage and a hatchet be in your hand. I use the analogy, think of it like bowling, you don't go roll your ball drinking a beer. So there's an area designed for alcohol, and there's an area designed to throw the hatchet. So if you think of a bowling alley, the same premise. You don't go walking up with a beverage in your hand to throw the ball.
Right, but a bowling ball is quite different from a hatchet.
Yep, I agree.
So my question is, can someone be drinking for an hour and then go throw a hatchet?
Well, I don't have a plate, so now you rent by the hour. So the hour that you're there is the hour that you're there. So, once the hour's up, I don't have a place for you to hang out. So with this new space, we'll have, if you're not, and this is what I've run into, if you're not done consuming your beverage, whether it be a beer or soda or whatever, I don't have a place for you to even finish drinking because that lane has been rented. So after you do the activity, you can migrate over to this area where you can sit down and just finish your beverage. We're not looking for a place for people to get intoxicated. It's more, and even the promise when I opened this, it's more about the activity than it is the alcohol. And I want to continue that. It's not about I don't have a place where you can belly up to the bar. You can go buy a beverage, and you can go sit and, it's really not any different than, if you're golfing, having a beer.
I must confess, I have gone there. I have had a beer. It's, I would say, it's very therapeutic, so you should go, John.
Can I put a picture up of it?
Actually, we don't do that either.
No.
And that was, in speaking with my attorney, it's just not the image that I want. I've had people, we did Ax or X for Valentine's, but we did hearts you could cut out and put initials. Initials could be anything, but, I didn't want on social media, an ex-husband with a hatchet in his head saying there, So, no, we don't.
Yeah, you don't want to give anybody ideas. But to the point for Mr. Harris, and your question, it's hard you can't be drinking and throwing the hatchet really at the same time. It just, and he polices, the place was crowded. He polices the place very well. And frankly, I was kind of astonished at how people really are very, very cognizant of the rules, because obviously you could get hurt pretty badly, but everybody was making sure nobody else was throwing when they would go to get the hatchet back out of the target and whatnot. So it's an interesting concept, and in practice it's pretty efficient and effective, and that's my piece.
Good.
Yeah, I get it a lot. I think we in the Northeast think of things a little bit, when you hear these things, but this has been around for a while.
Right.
We just saw, I tell people when I was a police officer, shortly after Sandy Hook, a kid was walking in the area of Falmouth High School with a shotgun, but perfectly licensed. And I said, if this was down south, the 911 calls were ridiculous. And I ended up picking them up going, look, I'm trying to eat my lunch. I got to give you a ride somewhere. But if this was down south, people go,
It's a different mindset.
that kid's going. So I think up here, we have a different mindset. You hear, but when people come in, I've had so many people go, wow, it's not at all what I expected it.
Yeah.
They just didn't
I'll
have
have
an
to try
idea.
Oh, you definitely got to try.
And I didn't even know you came, so it's great. I'm glad you enjoyed
Come
it.
over.
What are your hours?
So on my applications, I put 11, but I've been closing at 10 since I've opened. I don't really want, my thought is that I want the pregame crowd. I don't want, to be open late. I do open till 11, or I can open till 11, but I've been closing at 10. So I put 11 because just if, it's always been 10 o'clock since I've opened. I've had that up. Since the pandemic, nobody's out. I very rarely even get bookings from 9 to 10. Most of my bookings are done by 8 o'clock. I'm usually out the door by 9:30. But now with entertainment, I would like to have that. It's on my application till 11. If we run a little bit late, but 11 o'clock is the latest. In law enforcement, nothing good happens after 11 o'clock. So I know to be home in bed by then.
Aaron, did the neighbors have to be notified of this?
They did, and I received no communication,
Okay.
good, bad, indifferent.
Does anybody from the public have any comment on this? Seeing none, Mr. Decker?
Mr. Chairman, with regard to the application filed by the House of Hatchets, DBA House of Hatchets, 489 Bierces Way, Hyannis, to amend the daily live entertainment license to include live amplified music with up to 5 performers, I make a motion to accept.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Congratulations. Good luck.
Good luck.
Jam away.
It's a great team building.
I know that. We're going to have a town event, town employee bonding session,
Oh,
throwing hatchets.
A little scary.
Next matter is a new Class 2 auto dealer license filed by 50 Airport LLC, DBA 50 Airport LLC, 50 Airport Road, Hyannis. 137 display spaces, 4 customer spaces, including 1 handicap accessible space and 4 employee spaces. Is anybody here from that group?
Morning.
Good morning. Can you tell us your name, please?
Yeah, Talis Lana.
All right, sir, this is going to be a new location for you?
Yes, second location, yes, new location.
All right, so you're going to keep the old location
Exactly.
at Rosary Lane?
Yep.
All right. Obviously, we had an issue before with respect to number of vehicles and spots and whatnot. I think the staff has gone over that with you, and you understand those rules and regulations?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
Mr. Chairman, with regard to the application of 50 Airport LLC, DBA 50 Airport LLC.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Let me interrupt this. We're going to ask for the 155 Rosary Lane license back?
Only if they decide to cease operation. It was my understanding that they were going to move to 50 Airport Road and eventually
So
get
tell
rid
us
of
the plan.
Rosary.
Yes, so the plan is, first of all, we're going to, move in as a new business, and eventually we're going to separate our business because he owns a premium body auto shop and I own Cape Cod used cars. But, as of right now, we're just going to move in, and then later we're going to bring in the other two business.
No, but I guess my question is, at some point, are you going to surrender the
Yes, I
license
am.
at 155?
Yes, I am. I would say in maybe 3 months, 90 days, I would say. You would take me 90 days to finish the process.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Mr. Becker.
That's okay. Currently, this is a whole new license.
Exactly.
With the application filed by 50 Airport LLC, DBA 50 Airport LLC, 50 Airport Road, Hyannis, for a new Class 2 auto dealer license with 137 display spaces, 40 customer spaces, including 1 handicap accessible space, and 4 employee spaces. I make a motion to accept.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Good luck, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Eric.
The next matter is the transfer of an inn-holder all-alcohol common victualler license, including the transfer of daily live and daily non-live entertainment licenses, and to change the license type and alteration of the premises. So an application has been filed by 473 Partners Restaurant LLC, DBA Hyannis Inn, 473 Main Street, Hyannis, to transfer the inn-holder all-alcohol common victualler license, including the daily live and non-live entertainment licenses from Delaria Hospitality, Inc., DBA Hyannis Inn, to 473 Partners Restaurant LLC, DBA Hyannis Inn. The proposed manager is Alex Tamargo. Hours of alcohol service are Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12:45 a.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. Outdoor seating will be limited to 11 p.m. nightly. The change of license is from a Section 12 hotel license to a Section 12 restaurant license, and the alteration of the premises is during in-season, June 1st to September 30th. Alcohol, beverages, and food be provided in the restaurant dining room consisting of 715 square feet, 29 seats, 2 handicap bathrooms, 2 entrances and exits, and a 400-square-foot outdoor patio with 20 seats. A separate restaurant dining room with a bar consisting of 567 square feet, 26 seats, including 12 bar seats, storage room, 2 handicap bathrooms, 2 entrances, exits, with a 484-square-foot outdoor patio with 22 seats, for a total of 67 indoor and 42 outdoor. In the off-season, from October 1st to May 31st, alcohol, beverages, and food will be provided in the dining and restaurant and dining room consisting of 715 square feet, 49 seats, 2 handicap bathrooms, 2 entrances, exits, and in a separate dining area with a bar, 48 seats, including 12 bar seats, storage room, 2 handicap bathrooms, 2 entrances and exits. Phew.
Good morning, Attorney Trish Farnsworth. I'm with Lawson & Whiteson, and with me is Alex DeMargo, the proposed manager. He's also one of the owners of the applicant licensee, together with David Rosenberg and Jessica Rosenberg. So the Hyannis Inn a block away from here, has been sold, the property itself, and the applicant is an affiliate. They operate actually under the name Good NU Hospitality. They have 5 restaurants currently, and also an inn. They bought the Waterford Inn and Spindlers in Provincetown last year. So they're going to go into the Hyannis Inn and operate the 2 restaurants, bars, Fort Point Tavern and Compass Cafe. So there's not going to be room service. This is actually a little bit less of alcohol than maybe the prior owner had. So it's really just on those locations. And they're, more than qualified. They know how to run restaurants appropriately, and Mr. Tamargo is tip certified and many, many years. He can tell you more about his experience and also maybe about the plans for the hotel, the inn, that you probably want to know about. So I'll turn it to Alex.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So Good New Hospitality is the company I run. We have 5 locations. Closest to here, one Martha's Vineyard and one Provincetown, as Ms. Farnsworth said. So really what we do is our restaurants are all about the community. They're all different concepts. They're all different menus. They're not the same. It'd be very easy for me to make cookie cutter chains and go everywhere, but that's not what we do. We want to ingratiate ourselves with the community and become a part of it. So as we're starting to develop menus and concepts for this new restaurant right now, it's, leaning on the town of Hyannis and how we can go from there and be successful in town. First year, we're going to kind of really learn the business. It's going to be a lot of, trial and error, and we understand that because we're new to the market. But we're not going to try to reinvent the wheel. It's not going to be fine dining or anything like that. It's, neighborhood bar and grill food and just a great place to take your family or go on a date.
So, just a question. The company you run is what?
It's called Good New Hospitality.
And what's your relationship to this other entity, 473 Partners Restaurant LLC?
I'm a part owner in that, like Trish said, and the owners, David Rosenberg and Jessica Rosenberg, run the parent company, Sawyer Realty, and the restaurant arm under that is Good New Hospitality, which I run.
I can explain it.
Yeah, sure.
Just to explain that a little bit more, Good and New Hospitality is not an entity. It's just their kind of blanket market.
Hospitality group.
Hospitality group.
Oh, okay.
So every licensee is under that, but it's a separate license for each restaurant, just
I
to be
get it.
clear, yeah. Mhm.
It's his alter ego. And you're aware that the seats have to be limited to 66 at this time pending other things?
Correct, working with the Board of Health on all that stuff, but starting with 66 before we apply for any exemption.
Anybody else have any questions?
Is it open now? No, when
Doesn't
will
look
you,
like it's been open in about 2 years.
so when will you open?
Depending on approval of license,
What's your plan?
The goal is Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
So I'm in the process of hiring a chef and a GM right now, working out the concept and trying to figure it out. It's a little tricky too because the kitchen is 200 yards away from the bar, so trying to figure out how that's going to work. But it's a fun problem to have for us, and the goal is Memorial Day, but again, it's up to you and then up to the state on their time.
Anybody else have any questions?
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, with respect to the application filed by 473 Partners Restaurant LLC, doing business as Hyannis Inn, 473 Main Street, I move to approve the transfer of the inn holder all alcohol common victor license, as well as transfer the daily live and daily non-live entertainment licenses, the change of license type from hotel to restaurant, and an alteration of licensed premises as amended, noting only 66 seats are approved at this time due to the grease trap capacity. Additionally, it is understood that alcohol service is prohibited as part of the motel operations. I make a motion to accept.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None? Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And on behalf of the licensee, we just want to thank Ms. Logan and everyone, your health department. Everyone's been more than just helpful with all of the permits and such.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay, let's do this. Let's skip to the consent agenda, if we would. Mr. Decker?
Mr. Chairman, seeing no issues with the consent agenda, I make a motion to accept as printed.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. That consent agenda has passed. So we have a discussion matter on the docket for J&J Auto at 381 Camp Street, Hyannis, due to an overcapacity of vehicles. This has apparently been an ongoing issue between Officer Kelsey and the auto dealer, and it's up to us to figure out next steps. Mr. Anthony?
Thank you. Good morning. I think what I'd like to do is defer to Aaron to give some background and explanation as to why this is on the agenda today. She can speak a bit more succinctly to the issue.
Thank you. Ms. Logan?
Thank you, Chair. Essentially, we were contacted by the town of Yarmouth in February regarding a consumer complaint. And the complaint, in essence, made Yarmouth go out and see that there were quite a few vehicles on the Yarmouth line. So I had asked Officer Kelsey to go and perform a compliance check. They were, I believe, 15 vehicles over their allotted 5. At last check, Officer Kelsey checked on the 17th, and they were still 10 vehicles over the approved 5. The applicant was emailed. They were also sent a certified letter to attend today. They have obviously not shown up. I think at this point, it's up to the board to determine whether you want this application, or I'm sorry, this proprietor in front of you for a show cause hearing. I think there is good support in the rules and regulations pointing to the need for a show cause hearing. I would be remiss if I didn't say that the owner has been in touch with the building commissioner to have his site plan amended, if you will, to expand the capacity, though I don't know that this lot will allow it. And I have confirmed with Ms. Flynn that they haven't heard anything from the owner since the original contact.
Is this the gas station on the corner there?
It is.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Have we had previous issues with this property? Do you recall?
During my time, no. This is a first for me. I did speak with Robin Anderson of the building department to get a history, and this had been quite an undertaking just to license the property because of the split parcel. The town of Yarmouth has ordered a cease and desist. I do believe initially the vehicles were moved off of the Yarmouth line. I happen to pass it every day on my way to work and will tell you that they're back on the Yarmouth line.
But it seems like, and maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but it seems like they're just being defiant and not addressing the issues. Even after Officer Kelsey spoke with them, they still didn't act upon his suggestion. And they haven't come forward with regard to other things that we've requested. So I guess my opinion is we certainly should have a show cause hearing.
And I can confirm for the record, I have reached out to the proprietor through email, again through certified mailing, and I have not heard anything. The office manager did reach out to get site plan review contact information, and that's the last I've heard from that business.
I think there's a significant difference between being occasionally 2 cars over the limit and being consistently 15 cars over the limit. And I think it would be a good idea to have them in front of us.
Let's make it so. Do we have a motion?
Is there, Mr. Chair?
Do we need a motion to issue a show cause? I don't think so.
I don't think so, but, it never hurts. But
Then Mr. Decker.
Mr. Chairman, with regard to J&J Auto at 381 Camp Street, Hyannis, regarding possible violations of Class 2 auto dealers' licenses, and regarding overcapacity, not operating on licensed premise, no posting of hours, and any other possible issues that have been addressed by Officer Kelsey, I make a motion that we determine a show cause hearing is required.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Thank you very much. I assume everybody has read last meeting minutes, and I should have approved those at the beginning, but I'll take a motion, Mr. Decker, on that.
Make a motion to accept the minutes of February 6, 2023.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Good. Mr. Anthony is going to tell us about Gimmy's Tavern, my favorite spot.
Yes, as many people are aware, when we had that cold snap, there were a lot of buildings. Fortunately, the town assets were remarkably well prepared, and the only asset where we had an issue was the Hyannis Golf Course clubhouse. One of the copper pipes on the second floor burst, releasing water down through the first floor into the basement, impacting about 50% of the footprint of the building. Within that operation, as you may be aware, the function room, there is a kitchen, there is a bar, lounge, a snack bar. And the tenant who is there was obviously impacted by all of this water. We have since, through our insurance company, submitted a claim, and the clubhouse is closed and will be closed for the foreseeable future, meaning a number of months, to the point where it may not be open until fall. In the meantime, we have renewed our operations there, pro shop, office space, by getting on the insurance company's dime, a portable trailer, so that the golf course will open in the near future for golf operations, but it will be without the traditional food and beverage that has been there. In order to accommodate that, they opened up Old Barnstable Fairground a few weeks early, and there was robust play with the nice weather there. We are currently working with the building commissioner to see if we can allow the snack bar to open, which was minimally affected by all of this, in the hopes that the snack bar and the golf cart could serve the general golfing public. We are working with our tenant very closely, because obviously they hold licenses with this group. What we want to do is make sure that if there's a way that we can find some sort of a hybrid operation to not only service the golfers who are there, but also stay within some semblance of their existing licenses. We have not successfully been able to determine what we can do with that snack bar as of yet, and we would probably report back at the next licensing authority meeting. But this is where, wearing the asset management hat, I wanted to make sure that you folks were aware of what we were trying to do. As much as there may have been some bumps in the road early on, of late, there was good operation, and this is just a kind of a bad luck moment. It seemed just as things were settling down, this situation happened, and it was none of their fault. The lease that we have with Gimmy's and with the parent organization actually allows them or the town, if for an extended period of time, to discuss termination of the lease without prejudice. We have chosen not to enter into those conversations at this time, hoping that we can find some way to come to common ground. But I felt that it was important to, one, make sure that this authority knew that we were working through the particulars to see if we could stay within the licenses that exist, so that we don't have to come before the authority until the appropriate time. And two, to also recognize that if there was any talk around town, that this was certainly not something of their fault in any way, and wanted to make sure that that was on the record.
Thank you. No, I think everybody in the golfing community understands that it wasn't something that they did, and unfortunately impacts the golf course negatively, but hopefully we can find a way. And I assume that work is going to be put out to bid. Is that the restriction there?
There are certain aspects where the insurance settlement can go directly to a vendor from the insurance company, and that does not need to go out to bid, because technically the town does not receive the money. For example, this trailer is being direct paid by the insurance company, but if we receive an insurance settlement and it exceeds $20,000, we have to go back through town council in order to have it appropriated and then put it back through, which is going to add to a delay in moving this forward. Also, the age of the building, there has been some smaller projects done in the past that revealed some hazardous materials, And with the impact to the building, we're also having to work our way through with the insurance company to do hazardous material testing because that impacts where we can do work or where we may have to do an abatement, which would be on the insurance settlement, but it extends the time again.
There's been some street rumors also that, and we've seen this as the license authority a number of times in recent months where managers have been changed. So the last I had heard it as a rumor, they're trying to find a reliable manager because so far they haven't, there's been some issues one way or another with regard to management of the operation.
I think in the purview of the licensing authority, certainly when they change the manager, they bring it forward. We have been in regular communication with Don Cox as the representative in the sign-off of that lease. Some of that turnover has been the nature of coming out of COVID and the difficulty in finding people. It has also been the intermittent level of play and transactions at the course itself that has made it a challenge. So while I don't want to lay it on him that he simply can't keep a good manager, yes, there has been a pattern of some turnover. This is not going to help because currently they're not serving, so this may very well end up that the current manager in this job environment could find work elsewhere. So we may very well see another manager change, but again, this one is certainly not of his making.
David, it's easier for me to understand what is closed in the building versus what is open. Is the back room, which is the function room, that's closed also?
Currently, the entire building is closed,
okay.
and we are seeking whether or not we can, while the building is being renovated, potentially have the snack bar operate, which is in one very small corner and is pretty self-contained. That could potentially allow for the golf patrons to have access to food and beverage. If that was to also operate, it could potentially lead to the golf cart, which has serviced golfers out on the course, so that there could be some semblance of operation there to enhance the golfing experience. Otherwise, we're encouraging golfers to go over to Old Barnstable for the foreseeable future.
So there's no restrooms either that are open?
I believe we are accommodating that outside of the building as well at the present time. Yeah.
The enjoyables.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate gives us a chance to get the staff to work on course so that I don't hit it in the wrong spots anymore.
The driving range is still open over there, correct?
Actually, I'm not sure if the driving range is
think-
even open.
yeah.
Just got the trailer this past Monday, so we're going through connections. So I would imagine in the very near future, and certainly with good weather, we are pushing to get that done as quickly as we can.
Yeah, everything's been closed, the whole site, yeah. And our next meeting is?
April 10th. I make a motion to adjourn until April 10th.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.